What's up, Nitro Nation? You guys don't know about that. Those of you that are probably too young to know that. That's a little Maiden in the background. Iron Maiden. Legendary 80s, but they're still touring. Heavy metal band. Back in the day, Muggy Maniac's dating himself. 80s to be. When I was just a young whippersnipper. It's still one of my favorite bands, man. These guys are like, Muggy Maniac's getting up there. These guys are like in their 70s probably almost, and they're still out there touring and rocking. But anyway, yeah, I'm not much the rapper guy. I mean, Eminem maybe. Yeah, I'm old school. Like I said, Muggy Maniac is OG. So anything, probably 30 years ago is mostly, what I still listen to. I like some newer stuff. I like System of a Down. I like Rage Against the Machine. I'm just not into the R&B and the rap and, all that new hip-hop shit. I'm cool. If you guys like to bump your hip-hop shit, to each his own, man. But anyway, welcome all newbies, middies. When I say middies, I mean, guys that are like in their, mid-20s, okay, maybe 30s, mostly mid-late 20s, and then oldie but goodies, like 30, 40, 50, and up, welcome. The reason I'm showing you guys this, real quick, before I kind of tell you what's going on in the Nitro Cave, this is the pipe that I'm going to be running this weekend. It's a pipe that I ran. You guys might have heard it or seen it. Sometimes I like to explain my setup on my videos, but lately, I got people out there hating. People like, you don't have enough run videos. By the way, FYI, there was a guy that said that the Nitro Nerd has way more videos of running videos than I do. Well, of course he does. He's been on the tube for, 30 years or whatever. But I have a lot of running videos, just a lot of them got deleted. I've probably got at least 100 running videos or more, but a lot of them got deleted when I switched to my new phone. So, doesn't look like I, even been doing this. Somebody's like, yeah, you've been doing this for how long? And your videos only go back 3 months or whatever. Yeah, well, I started doing videos almost 4 years ago. But anyway, of course, the RC Nitro Nerd has more running videos than I do, because most of mine got deleted. And even if I had all mine, he has way more running videos because he's been on YouTube, for many, many more years than I have. I've only been on the tube for a few years. But anyway, in an older video, I think one of my new subscribers, a guy named Just Joe 887, that guy's been persistent, man. I know he's watching my videos. He's just being a student, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what it takes if you want to get to the next level of 8-scale nitro. Watching videos, studying, doing your homework. I'm going to answer a lot of questions that pertain to things that he asked. And other guys, but mostly this guy. And hey, the only dumb question, like I said, is the one you don't ask. If you want to learn the shit, don't feel... I'm not gonna, you don't have to feel intimidated by me by any means. I'm nobody to be intimidated. I hear guys say, oh, I try to, ask, the Nitro Nerd, but he blocks all his comments, which I don't know why. So, for whatever reason. Like I said, he's kind of, one of those peculiar guys. Like I said, he's a mad scientist, man. Definitely the mad scientist. He knows his shit. He knows he knows how to tune, he knows the clutch, he knows everything pretty much there is to know about 8-scale nitro. But what bewilders me about him, or what kind of stumps me about the Nitro Nerd, is he runs a lot of pull starts. He has back plates, the guy's got major motors, modified, regular. But why he deals with even back plates at all, I don't know. I only had one with pull start, and that's the one, like I told you before, and that thing threw a rod eventually. The pull starts is robbing your motor. I don't know how many times I can emphasize it. It's robbing your nitro motor, no matter what it is, what motor it is, of 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs. That's fact. That's dyno. That's not me making it up. That's not me just, coming up, pulling that out of my ass. That's a fact, okay? So, why you would run a back plate, I mean a pull start or a rotor start and deny the motor, your motor, of reaching its full potential and robbing it of 3,000 to 4,000 horsepower by having all that bullshit that it's got to turn and work extra hard, you know, is beyond me. But like I said, if that works for you and you're cool and, you know, that floats your boat, whatever. Like I said, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If the shoe fits, put that shit on, lace it up, man up, wear your shit, okay? So if it doesn't apply to you, you know, then don't worry about it, man. But if you get all butthurt and you make comments and shit, obviously I hit a nerve, or obviously it does apply to you. And you can state your case, and, you know, I like a good debate. And like I said, if you got facts and you can back the facts up, I can't deny the facts. Facts are facts. You know? At the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, again, I don't want to get into making a video of all, you know, of who's who, what's what, he said, she said. You know, reminds me of that Limp Bizkit song. Some of you guys may have heard it or know Limp Bizkit. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. You know, that's what it is. So I don't get too caught up in that. I got too many things to do. Too many newbies that want to learn, that want to, you know, that want to, you know, get further into nitro, and you know, let me take the mystery out of whatever it is that you might be struggling with, if I can. That's what I'm here for, man. We're gonna go over some, look, man, we got major freaking wrenching right here, people. This is in the Nitro Cave, and we got some major motors. We got the LRP .32 Spec 4, the brand new one. This one has been hanging out with me for a while. I haven't really got it. I should have sent it get modded Rick a long time ago, but you know, I was just like, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. I already had 3 motors at the time. Still have the 3 motors that I had modded, and I'm still just getting them broken in. So, you know, I don't want to. Too many times I see people on the tube just trying to bite off more than they can chew. They're trying to put too much shit on their plate. Shit's falling off their plate, and you know what I mean? Just pick a line, man. Pick a line, pick whatever it is that you want to do, you know, buggies, truggies, maybe one of each, and you want to learn, you know, stock motors first, which I suggest, and then there's no hurry, man. You got to crawl before you can walk. It's baby steps, man. I don't know how many times I got to tell people. I didn't rush it. You know how many times Mr. John Bottigiel, when I first started in this almost 4 years ago now, and he knew I was getting a Rex Legend. By the way, he was the one that, you know, pitched the Rex Legend to me, man. I was sold. I'm like, yeah, it's Italian. Hell yeah. I've seen it run. He had videos, tons of them, on his modded ones and everything. And I was like, okay, well, sounds good to me. And it's affordable. But he still was trying to push me to get it. Yeah, you got to get it modded. You got to get it modded. And keep in mind, I'm like, I'm brand new. I'm not even a year into this. And I just wasn't ready. When you're ready, man. I think too many people are like, oh, man, I got to be next level. So let me, instead of worrying about getting a solid foundation, which would be a solid platform, let me just go get it and let me learn how to tune and maintain and care for a stock motor and get to know everything about it. Let me just get a motor and just modify it. You are asking for a lot of headaches, and unfortunately, I'd like to say there's tons of people that are going to help you, but probably not. Nobody's really doing a lot of current stuff. You can go to older videos and stuff. There's plenty of guys that have older videos. But anyway, slow down, man. Pump the brakes, people. There's no hurry, man. This is no race. Nitro, 8-scale nitro, bashing, mod, all that stuff that goes with 8-scale nitro bashing. And I'm talking about racing. If you want to learn about racing, if you want to know about race setups, go to Roger 111. Okay? If you want all the bells and whistles and all the smoke and mirrors and all the fancy, you know, voice audible and you know, smiley faces shit, then go to RC Nerd. I mean, if you can sift through all that he's got going on, I mean, he does have a lot to offer. The guy knows. I learned a lot from him. He's one of the guys that really I was learning, you know, when I was at that, getting at that stage you know, am technical. He's a lot like me. I'm just not, you know, in all the, you know, hype and shit like he's doing, you know? And as that, you know, that's his thing, man. If that works for him and that works for you, which I've heard a lot of people comment on my channel that, you know, and I'm just putting this out there, it ain't me. So if the RC nerd's watching my video, it's not me, man. I'm just stating you know, I ain't even saying it's facts. I'm just stating what people commented, and you can read the comments. I used to like to watch the Nitro Nerd until he got all crazy with the videos. Oh yeah, he used to be good. I don't know what happened to him. These are just a couple of the many comments that I've received on my channel about the Nitro Nerd. So I don't know, maybe the Nitro Nerd needs some go back to the basic nitro therapy. I don't know. Man, that guy knows his shit, man. I miss his old videos. Just as much as I miss Mr. Bodegel doing 8-scale nitro. He hasn't, I guarantee you, and, you know, I may be wrong, so don't quote me. He hasn't ran nitro shit forever. He's just, his thing is he's at the level now. He paid his dues and much respect. And earned the right to go full tilt and you know, 5th scale. And he just and he tries to kind of hold on to, you know, because he knows that everybody, you know, knows that he knows his nitro shit, but he can't. It's hard. I haven't seen anybody yet lately that can juggle doing 5th scale, teaching it, running it, helping people out, and go to 5th and go to do it at nitro. It's either one or the other, man. Who knows? I might be able to do it, but I think I'm not ready yet, man. I got a lot of nitro to do, man. So, FYI, the Muggy Maniac ain't going anywhere anytime soon as far as 8-scale nitro, because I got a lot of shit to do, man. So anyway, shout out to everybody that's all the new subscribers. I was counting. I made a list somewhere. I think I got like 20. I mean, you can figure out who's new subscribers, you know, who's tuning in and what have you. And, you know, not that all that matters, but it just was interesting. You know, there's like 20 newbies on my channel. Some of them are just kind of hanging out. I don't know if they're what they call YouTube trolls, which means you don't even run nitro, man. You're just need to be entertained or bored or whatever, and you just want to jump on people's nitro channel, make a comment, and you don't even run nitro. And we don't want to go into what I think about that, because let's just keep it at that. You fill in the blanks. That's a troll. So anyway, a lot of newbies, man, and I want to help guys out. You know, again, I don't want to take away from what I need to do, you know. But at the same time, I don't want to deny anybody theirs, man. Everybody wants to get theirs. Let me help you get yours, because I'm getting mine. Okay, this weekend, Muggy Maniac is getting his. Okay, we're getting down. There's a song, Disturbed, another hard metal band I like. There's a song called Down with the Sickness. Love that song. The Muggy Maniac is getting down with the sick whip nitro. This R5 Reds, again, the Jason guy, I'm bad with names, so forgive me. There's other guys too. I think he's the guy, correct me if I'm wrong, that said, I'm going to get a 28.8 Rex Legend, got it coming, and I'm going to keep it stock. Because he wants to learn, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. That guy, that kid, man, let me give him some props. Props to you, Mr. Jason88. What is it? I wrote it down so I couldn't forget. Oh, Just Joe. I'm sorry. Just Joe 887, man. Props to you, man. You're doing your homework. You're going in the right direction. Just don't let people, you know, trip you up, man. You know, and then also I want to give a shout out to all these guys, you know, that, you know, made the comments and got my back. Hey, just do your thing. Just be the mug. You know, and hey, that's encouraging. That's cool. I mean, yeah, haters are haters. They don't bother me. You know, thanks for you guys for getting my back, because I got your back. You know, but, you know, hey, the Muggy Maniac can hold his own. So, sure, I'm not shy. I'll pull people's covers if I need to. And I don't go looking for that shit. Some people like to look and stir up shit. I don't got time for that bullshit. I don't have time for the drama. Save that, like they say, for your baby's mama. I don't got time for that shit. I got new guys that are looking to me for advice and moves they want to make to get to kick it up a notch. Okay? I mean, we want to kick it up a notch. Bam! Look at that. Look at that. See that right there? Bam! That's no... I mean, that's already a res. Even if this wasn't modified, because I ran it stock, which I suggest before you modify a motor, and you never ran a stock of whatever you're getting, run that shit stock, but don't run it into the ground. Like I said, run a gallon, not a gallon, try to keep it at breaking it in, which is normally at least 10 tanks. You know, I don't want to get into the whole break-in process. We'll do a video of that when I get some other motors modded, you know, in the next few weeks, which is going to be happening. If you guys don't know, LRP32 is definitely getting modified because I ain't running this bullshit no more because stock, and this is a quick note, and we'll go into it in a few minutes here when I start explaining what to look for and where do you start with a used nitro motor, because that's what this subject is going to be about. How you go about getting used nitro motors, what to look for, you know, what you want to do before you even buy the damn thing, and then when you buy it, how do you go about tuning it, where do you start, because that's what the main question was, and I'll explain that to you because I have enough experience with it. Okay, but this is the sleeve of the LRP .32. See that? See the ports? See how it's rough, jagged right here? That's shitty port work. I know how to deburr metals, which is what they didn't do. So all the, like the corners there, instead of being smooth and polished, look at that. Fucking garbage. If you continue to run an LRP32 and you think you can just go, and that's the motor that I will tell you, unfortunately, you're going to have to bypass the running that thing stock unless you want to risk destroying your motor. Because, like Rick at RB Mods and other modded guys that mod motors was saying, if those, because of the way they did those ports, if any little tiny fragment chips off, you have no room for error in a nitro motor. All those RPMs and shit, you'll wreck your motor. And I'm lucky that I got away breaking it in and running a couple tanks of 30% before I shut it down. And I'm not going to run it anymore. If I was going to keep it, I would do the polishing myself. I would have to clean all that shit up, because I don't want to risk blowing the motor up. So I'd rather not even do that. I want it modded anyway. This will probably be one of maybe the only LRP32s that I own, and it'll be modified, no veracity carb and everything. And like you guys might know or might not know if you check my old videos, this is the Kyosho .25 that comes in their RTR, the Neo whatever it is, ST, and the Buggy. They have .25s with that pull start bullshit. And by the way, if you get one of those, I think they make a backplate for that motor, and that's a decent motor. That's a motor that I would even put a backplate on it and run it, and it'll be decent. Don't waste your money and time on putting a backplate on one of the Dynamites that come on the low seas. Those things are garbage. You don't have to ask me, ask anybody that's ran them. Garbage, garbage, garbage. Dynamite, .21s, .28s, RTRs are garbage. If you don't believe me, ask Mr. Za. Okay? He's got plenty of videos and proof of it. I'm just going off what I've seen and heard from him and other people. And if you think you're going to put a backplate on it, it's going to be badass. No, it's going to be badass blowing up quicker. Because you're making that thing scream even more, and just that Dynamite motor can't, it's a shitty quality. You'll wreck it. Waste your money. Don't mod it. Just spend that 100 and something you spend on mod and put it aside and get another 90 bucks and buy a no veracity. Or buy an LRP if you want, but you got to get that thing modded. You got to change the carburetor on it. You know, you can run these Kyosho carburetors. I put this, and you guys can see a video that I did. I forgot which one it was. But when I ran the LRP32 and broke it in, I had, on my Techno, I had this carburetor on there. That X-Tech is bullshit. If you guys waste your time trying to tune it, I took that X-Tech carb apart and you know, polished it and smoothed out, you know, the chamber inside and the slide, and it still won't idle. It has air leaks. It's just a shitty carburetor. Do whatever you want with it, but don't run it. That Kyosho carburetor, I forgot the part number. If you need the part number, comment in below. I can get it to you. But it's on the .25 RTR motors. Okay? And it fits perfectly on the LRP .32. Now it's not a Novorossi carburetor by far, but it's Kyosho. It's not bad. And the thing I like about these Kyoshos, if you look at them, check it out. All your shit's on the same side. High end needle, idle, low speed needle. Wow, who would have figured that's pretty clever, right? You know, you get all your tuning all on one side. It's convenient. So anyway, that carb will work. So if you do get it modded and you don't got the $100 to spend, you know, and don't want to go through taking a millimeter off that Novorossi carburetor, because you're going to have to in order for it to fit. Okay? If you don't know that, you know now. So there's a lot more involved in getting an LRP32 to where it needs to be. You can, but you're risking blowing it up by getting one stock and just running it stock. Okay, if those little things in it, the only way I can tell, some motors might have them, some won't. Most of the ones that I've seen, everybody that I've talked to that's got the new spec bores, same shit. So there must be a huge batch of them that the new company that took over LRP probably had left over from the old company. And before they start doing their shit with OS, they're like, you know, we need to get rid of these things. And it's just shitty work, man. So anyway, we're going to get into that motor tuning a little bit. I'll touch on that. Over here, we got where we make the, you know, I have little sections, if you notice. The only one I'm not utilizing right now, because the Techno has got some goodies coming. A few things are going to be upgraded. Not that it needs anything. This thing's bone stock out of the box. This thing is sick, and this thing's a badass whip. Okay? But it's getting some extras. I mean, it's just sitting there, shiny and clean, ready to rock and roll. Not this weekend, but probably next weekend I'll get it out there. It's got its fair share. This one's going back to work, though. The Mugen's going back to work. MBX7 Truggy, because I've never ran my modified Reds R5 Team Edition in this. There's a video where I ran it in the Techno when I was finishing breaking it in. Then I ripped it after it was, you know, broken in, you know, at my little bash spot, and then I put it back in the buggy. The reason I didn't that it didn't get the buggy from the beginning, which is why I bought this motor in the first place, and I got it modded. This motor is specifically designed, and I got it for the Mugen MBX buggy. But I was changing plastics and a bunch of shit, so it wasn't ready. So I needed a platform, and you know, the donor was the Techno at the time. The Techno was breaking in a lot of my motors. I don't even think I had. As a matter of fact, I know I didn't even have this yet. I didn't have my Mugen yet. But I had my Techno, and I was like, the Techno's going to work. It's going to be these motors bitches for now, so to speak. Because I got to, you know, I got to break in. I broke in the 28.8 Novorossi Rex Legend, the modified one. I broke that in on the Muggy. Okay. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about, man. I hope you guys got an hour. You don't got anywhere to go, anything, because this video is going to be long. It's going to be probably about another 20, 30 minutes. It's going to be about an hour video. Okay, so you might want to pull up a chair, grab some snacks, quesadillas, nachos, popcorn, grab a cold one. Muggy Maniac, matter of fact, reminds me, the only thing I'm on need right now is I am tired, put in 60 hours of work this week, so I need some super freaking Muggy Maniac needs his nitro fuel too, so I can function. I'm gonna have to hold on. Where's my fan? Oh, there it is. We're gonna get set up because the Muggy Maniac's gonna have to set up a little bit. So excuse my camera work. Okay, see if I can tilt you guys up here somewhere. Here, let me put you guys. Sorry about all this movement, because I have to get my caffeine going so I can function properly. So anyway, let me finish what I was talking about. So now I want to comment another thing, you know, and I'm not singling this guy out. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. If it looks like a duck, acts like a duck, walks like a duck, sounds, it's a duck. Okay, so I just call it how I see it, you know? Because, like I said, if it applies to you, then it's constructive criticism. I don't have any beefs with nobody. I only have beefs with people that come on my channel talking bullshit, and either they don't have a channel, you know, some guys I've had, they just run fifths, they've never even ran nitros, and if they did, it was Traxxas. You know, don't bring your Traxxas on my channel, trust me, because I will rip you a new one. You know, and I can talk shit about Traxxas, because you know why? Because I raced Traxxas back when they were actually decent. Before half of you guys probably were even born. But they're shit. They're garbage, man. I've even had guys tell me they wouldn't. Elite RC. You guys know Elite RC. Shout out to... Oh, sorry about that. Damn it. Little bumble there. Almost dropped you guys into my coffee. Muggy Maniac is just all over the place, man. I haven't even had any coffee yet. Holy smokes. But anyway, Elite RC even said I wouldn't give, excuse my language, fucking Traxxas to my kids. By the way, shout out Elite. I don't know, I haven't heard from him in a while. Me and him usually talk behind the scenes. He's one of my... He's getting ready for drag racing. A lot of these guys in fifth scale, if you guys don't know, FYI, they're getting ready for, you know, as soon as the weather's starting to clear up now, there's a lot of drag races coming up, and these guys are getting all their fifth scale nasty ass. By the way, I didn't give my shout outs to my Buggy Maniacs, Chuggy Maniacs, Muggy Maniacs, Monster Truck Maniacs, and since we're talking about fifth scale, 50cc, 90cc, crazy, 40cc RC Max, modified, 990 carb shit, Bartolome pipes, 5Ts, 5Bs, freaking Primal RCs, all that shit, man. Those guys are a whole nother level. That's why I call them insaniacs. They're not maniacs. Those guys are fucking nuts. Because that's some crazy shit. Crazy money, too. So anyway, that tastes so good. Look at that. Zah. Little cinnamon. Little my vanilla caramel macchiato creamer. Oh, yeah. That's nice refill, people. So anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, I got my section set up. This is usually where I do a lot of my electronical shit. You'll see servos over here. There's the radio box from the, you know, that's what I like about the Muggy. You know, most of your platforms, it doesn't, I don't know why guys don't take their shit out. Let's touch a little bit on cleaning before we get on to the motors. Now, this is the first stage. If you're going to do the John Bodegel hose your shit off, and I've had people, thumbs up, thumbs down. John does it. What works for John might not work for you. Okay? I've done it, and I still do it sometimes, but there's a certain way you got to do it. I don't do it with any of my shit in here. Okay? There's my center. All the spurs in there. Look at that piece of artwork, man. Look at that. 7075 anodized aluminum center diff tower, top brake plate, bearings in it. That shit right there was almost $100, man, just for that. Crazy. Oh yeah, she's got plenty, man. She held up. The only thing I noticed when I was turning the back, smooth, right? When I turn the front, it doesn't feel as smooth. It feels like it's not really binding, but halfway through when I turn it, like right there, I'm turning it and it's not even moving until now. So something's up in there. I'm gonna pull it apart. So I mean, I clean it very well with a lot of simple green. Let it set. You can do the rinsing or the hosing off, but take your motor, take all your shit out. I don't do it with that in there. and you're going to get everything underneath it. But when you, after you get done doing that and get all the air out of it, man, blast that thing, man. I do 2 layers, okay? I do a layer of the heavy duty CRC silicone, which this is good shit. Walmart, it's like $3 for this can, okay? Then I do the super marinade sauce, I call it, the Blaster silicone lubricant with Teflon, and I just bury it. And even still, I looked at it, it's been a couple days now, and there's still the set screws and certain screws in the ends have rust in them. And this thing is freaking sauteed in silicone. I'm telling you, man, it doesn't, as soon as the water, any moisture hits, and it's not stainless steel or even steel or just steel or anything, immediately that shit rusts and corrodes. So I know when I start taking my bearings in, I've got everything in there. When I take my bearings out, I'm going to re-clean everything again. Even though I rinsed it and cleaned it and siliconed it, when I take this thing apart, I'm going to clean every bearing, every nut. I'm going to take all the hinge pins out because I know there's shit in, because you can't get inside of there no matter what. So I'm telling you, so I really don't like doing the John Bodegel way. I'd rather, and I know it's work, but hey, if you don't want to work at this, then don't expect the results. Don't expect your shit to run top notch. Don't expect your shit to perform. Don't expect your shit to last. Okay? But expect things to go wrong. You gotta do this shit, man. If you don't, then go do, I tell people, if you don't want to put in the work and you're lazy, or you just, I don't want to do that, it's too much, excuse my language, get the fuck out of Nitro, man. Do yourself a favor, save yourself some money, go get an E-word. If you're, at least go get a decent E-word, or not, go get a Traxxas, okay, whatever. Get an E-word and don't do Nitro. Nitro is work, time, dedication, troubleshooting, a lot of patience, okay? And you got to network, okay? And you know, ask questions and search around. You'll find it, man. How do you think I did? Think it just came to me? No. So anyway, that's the first stage. I get it nice, as clean as I can externally. Now, the next stage of this, and especially I want to do that as good as best as possible, because it might be sitting like it has for a few days. Because I might not. The people that run your shit and get it all dirty and then let it set and they don't do nothing, you're asking for problems, man. You're asking for shit to corrode. You're asking for bearings to seize up. You're asking for shit to get ruined and plastics to get jacked up. So at least do it as best you can externally if you're not going to get to it right away, which I didn't. So now I'm not worried about it. I can let it set for another week or two. It's fine. But I know I need to get in there and I need to, you know, I need to inspect it and check everything and check, you know, the bearings and check, especially the front drive shaft. Make sure everything's cool in there. Pull the diffs out. Really clean it thoroughly. I'll go through this thing with a fine comb. By the time I get done with this platform, before I even run it again, this thing will be brand new. Better than brand new. Fact. That's how I roll. So anyway, I have my sections, you know, my cleaning start over here. That's why this fat pig over here takes up the whole table. Hey, by the way, some guy made a comment. I should have named that video When Pigs Fly. I thought, because he said I always call it a pig. It is a fat pig. That thing's like 4 pounds heavier than any of my other platforms. Okay, it's just, it's a muggy, man. It's not a monster truck, and it's not a truggy. That's why they call it a muggy. It's in between, okay? To me, it's basically a truggy on steroids, because that thing has got, like, big-ass shocks, braces out the ass. I mean, that thing's pretty solid. I mean, and it's hanging on for dear life when that 28.8 stock Novarossi is getting in that ass, because that's a badass motor. Now, if I was to run it like I did, like on my video with the modded, I don't know. I might be changing my gearboxes, because I know those gearboxes aren't that strong. They're okay, but they're nothing like my Mugans or my Technos. These are solid gearboxes that can handle that shit. So anyway, the Reds is going to rock with that pipe that I just showed you. Works. 2010 Tebow Rifkin Cavallari, which is 8 years ago or 9 years ago now. This is the pipe setup, exact setup they used in the IFMAR Worlds. And they all placed in, like, you know, I think top 10. The guy that plays 6, I forgot his name. Something Colts or Colts. Oh, Cody King too. You know. By the way, if you want to learn how to tune a motor too, there's a great video on YouTube. Cody King, Team Kyosho. He raced for Team Kyosho with Elliott Boots and his dad. Him and his dad. They'll show you how to tune. You know, and I'm just going to touch over it lightly on what I know and keep it as basic as I can. So anyway, I gotta, as soon as I'm done with this video, I don't want to. That's why I don't want to run it a long video, but I don't want to leave anything out. You know, I want to make sure that I explain, you know, to you guys the importance of, you know, what you do when you get a used motor, man. Okay? I don't want nobody crying and boohooing over, you know, they got jacked on a new motor and the thing already blew up or whatever. Mugen buggy, man, between the Reds and the Mugen, man, I haven't ran, matter of fact, because that motor was in here, I haven't ran this thing in a long time either. I mean, I just been focusing on the modified motors and my Truggies, and even, you know, giving a lot of love lately, you know, and to my Muggy. And my Muggy sat for a while, about a month. So I needed to get that thing out there. It's ripped. You guys seen the video. This thing ripped some ass. Again, stock 28.8 Rex Legend, Dynamite 053 pipe on it. Those two combo, stock Novorossi and that pipe, perfect, man. I wouldn't change a thing. I ran all the other pipes on it, but stock, it likes it. So, and it runs great. That's why that Novorossi 28.8 stock is going to stay and will always belong to, obviously, the platform that I got it for in the first place. So, you know, it slept around, went around the block a few times. The only other platform the stock one is running, now that I think about it, I ran the 28.8 Rex Legend stock. I ran it in the Mugen buggy, and man, it was nasty. This thing was all over the place, man. It was like a fucking, excuse my language, squirrel, man. Wah, wah, doing donuts and shit. It would do donuts on the concrete, like spin around and like a top and then flip over. It just was crazy. So anyway, that's what's going on with my rides. We're gonna get this thing out this weekend, so you will see the Mugen MBX7TR sick ass Truggy rocking the modified Reds, screaming the ass off of that freaking Works pipe. That Works pipe is a great pipe. A-Main says they're out of stock, but I know they carry it. You can find it. It's a EFRA 2058 pipe. Great pipe. It's not real expensive. I think it's like 60 bucks, 50 something, whatever. It's great for .21s, okay? I ran it on my bigger motors, and it was okay. I'd rather run, you know, the Picos and the 86s and so forth. So anyway, let's get into this, because we're already almost 40 minutes. 38 minutes and counting. But yeah, a lot of newbies, people want to know. The question was, I can't get my damn used motor, the guy I got it from, I don't, you know, the first thing you need to do, people, before you buy a used motor, man, you need to do your homework. I don't know, I feel like I'm a broken record, but I guess as many times as I have to tell you guys, I will. But you have to find out, well, how much fuel's ran through it. That's very important. Don't get a motor. I mean, it's up to you. Do what you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I can just give you, you know, the information, and what you do with it, you know, is up to you. What I show you or try to teach you is only as good as whoever applies it. So if it just goes in one ear out the other, then I don't know what to tell you. But some people, you know, sell motors and there's like 10 gallons. I don't want a fucking motor with 10 gallons to it, excuse my language. You know, I mean, that's way too much. All my motors, gallon or less, or I'll just pass. Next.
You might be wondering,
now, my first motor
work?
that I got
The answer lies in complex cutting-edge
with the backplate before the Novorossi was this OFNA. Oh, hold on. Okay, Hyper 21. Okay, and this is a badass motor. They don't make these anymore. Obviously, OFNA's not even around. But Habayo, you guys might have heard of it. Habayo is the company that has always made their shit. A lot of people got that twisted. I talk to guys that sell their shit, that house a lot of stuff. I know where you can get tons of hyper stuff. It's Hobayo. It's the same thing. Hobayo makes and has always made hyper shit. So that's a fact. This is Fun Fact Friday. Oh, another fun fact. If you have... We'll do a couple fun facts every Friday when I do a video. I'll try to do it. Can't make any promises. Fun fact. We already did the one on the EFR Works pipe. By the way, that Works pipe is Italian too. That's the reason I like it. And you know me, the Muggy Maniac likes his Italian shit. And I have my rice burners here and there, but my Italians there's no comparison. You know, Italians are the shit. That's it. As far as the motors, they're best quality. So anyway, that's a Works pipe, and what did I say? That in 2010, 9 years ago, that thing, a third of the percentage of the guys that placed in the IFMAR Worlds that year used that pipe. Whatever motors they're running, they use that pipe. Which means they ran it on a .21. So that's why I like it on the Reds. It runs really well. And it screams and sounds nasty too. You guys will hear it this weekend when I get it ripping. But anyway, this hyper here was my first backplate. It didn't have a backplate. It came with some rotor or some cooling. It looked like they said it was a turbo thing. It was like a backplate that had looks like a little turbo shit on the inside of it. So I guess what it was, like a fan, and it blew air through it or some bullshit. Anyway, I got rid of that and immediately looked around, and I was able to find for a Hyper 21 a backplate. It was like, I think it was like 12, 13 bucks, 15 maybe, cheap. Now I will tell you, when you take your motors apart, remember the way you took it apart, put it back the same way. What I like to do is I like to mark. This marking here means that it was forward, which is the way the crank's facing. So that's the way it goes back on. Sometimes when you take motors out, the button head will be in here. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't try to pry it out and jack it up. Be careful with your shims. I mark how many shims I have in here. And I'm not going to get into shimming. That's a whole nother video. There's a lot to shimming. I want to keep this basic simple for the newbie. When you take apart, what you're going to want to take apart a used motor, definitely. When you get it, don't just put, run the shit. Take it apart and check it out, man. Make sure your shit's cool. What are you looking for? You're just looking for abnormal wear. I mean, look at this. Is a Hyper 21. I mean, look at the size difference. 32, 21. But this is better quality. Look, here, I'll show you what porting should look like. And this isn't the greatest, but look. See that? That shit ain't all... I mean, it's not the best, but it's not all jagged like the... Here, let me focus. Come on, camera focus. Sucker. I might even smooth the ports out on this thing. And just smooth it out. But, I mean, you're just looking for your piston. This is the piston. Okay, see how it's got that, little dark and little light colors? The dark is going to be in the middle. Okay? These damn cameras don't like to focus. Where it's dark kind of right there around the middle. If it's too dark, that's too much carbon buildup. This one's doesn't have a lot, but I mean, you want a little bit of carbon buildup, but not too much. Okay. Biggest thing. Oh, excuse me, I need to get some more coffee in a minute. I'm gonna get up and get him in. Another sip, another swig. Check your bearing. Put your finger in here. Roll it around, and you'll be able to feel. If it's all, gritty and it kind of feels, not nice and smooth, try oiling that shit. Take some 3-in-1, couple drops in there, and other than that, check your plug, check your crank. Now on cranks, what you want to look for, and this is what I learned from Mike Croddick. This is the guy that's Elliott Boots, which races for Team Kyosho. This is his mechanic. Okay? And this guy knows his shit.
Performance out of your engine, and there's no dirt going through it, because prevention is better than the cure.
Prevention is better. I love his accent.
To prep your engine before you take it apart, make sure you got all your tools out. Pulling tool for your flywheel, clutch nut tool, a good 2mm driver for your back plate.
Your back plate.
Cotton buds.
Cotton buds.
To check the inside of the crankshaft, to check there's no dirt in there. Hopefully it'll be a nice light browny colour and not black or dirt. We use a torque wrench.
Now, if it's black or dirt, he suggests you tear that thing completely apart. Okay? He's talking inside of here. When you take a cotton swab and you rub it, I'll show you. When you're checking it. Now, like I said, this is when you get a used motor, you don't know how the hell they beat it up or whatever. Okay? You take a cotton swab, rub it inside, and, you know, my crank's already taken out, but it's basically where the crank rotates. And see how it's got that kind of brownish? I mean, it's like a tan. It's not dark. That's fine. Now, if you do that, right when you pull your motor apart and it's black, you need to you need to pull the crank out, clean that shit up. I mean, I already cleaned most of these things up since I was taking them apart anyway. The thing you want to look for, like I said on the cranks, is abrasive marks. If you see like really discolored wear on it, that means you're getting shit inside of your carburetor, which means that your air cleaner sucks or you're not cleaning it enough. And guys, I see them run, their air cleaners are fucking filthy. Excuse my language. It drives me crazy. You guys know I'm OCD about the cleaning shit. This is the best. If you can run this and it fits, run it. I'm not just talking outerwear, the outside of this. I'm talking the whole motor saver. Dynode, fact, increases power. Fact, not fiction. Okay? Motor saver and outerwear, not just the outerwear. The only reason John Bodajo was telling me he can't run it is because it won't fit underneath the body of his 4.0 Losi, or he'd be running the shit. I mean, he just puts the outerwear over, which helps, but this thing here, man, it's got like 4 layers inside of here of filters. And like he said, he got Neil, when Neil was doing shit at TNS, dynoed these on modded motors, on regular modded motors or regular motors, dynoed the whole motor saver and outerwear, this whole deal. It's like $40, kind of pricey, but I mean, it's worth it. He said it increased the power. So anyway, that's what he said. So anyway, you know, those are the things to check for. Now, let's talk about one thing a guy asked me. Factory on Nova Rossi, the factory setting, okay, low speed needle is 5 turns. So what you want to do, and this is where I'm going to set my camera so you guys can see, what you need to do is, well, this is a bad example because this carburetor has both these carburetors have a different adjustment. But on the Nova Rossi, hold on, the Nova Rossi carburetor, here's the Nova. That's your low speed needle. What you do is you don't crank it in. Never crank your high speed, low speed, any of the needles on your carburetor. Don't crank them all the way tight because you're gonna jack shit up. Okay, just right when you tighten it and you feel it start to get snug it just a little bit. Stop. Don't tighten it and crank it. What you'll do, excuse my language, you're gonna fuck up your seals. So anyway, the lower speed needle here, the factory setting, what they tell you to do is turn it all the way clockwise till it stops. Then, holding the slide all the way open, okay, see that? I'm holding the slide all the way open, counterclockwise 5 complete turns. Once you get 5 turns, let it go, and that's factory setting. Once you get it to factory setting, do not mess with it, leave it, okay? Now, the most accurate way to get your idle to set down, I know guys are saying they can't. You're not going to get the idle to set down, first of all, on an LRP .32 with that X-Tech. carb. Sorry about that. My big fat head in the way. The XR carb is a piece of shit. But the best way that where I start, once I get the factory setting, let's say start getting my motor ready to rock and roll, getting it set up for the first time. The first thing that I do, once I get the factory setting on it, if it's not already factory setting, is I do the pinch test. Now, before you do the pinch test, heat it up. Get your motor. And that brings me to one subject that I want to kind of touch on, too. I know the Nitro Nerd was saying about the heat. Well, he's 100% true what he said, okay, about head warmers. You know, the head warmers that go over. I use mine all the time, okay? Do you need them? No. So what he said is, you don't need them, okay? You don't. But what you need and what you feel that will benefit you are two different things. Is there benefits to it? Yeah, there is. So if he's just saying that you don't need them, then he's true. You don't need them. I use them anyway, though. You know why? Because when your motor is cold and it's not even warm, every time you go to bump start it or even pull start it, because the motor's, that's extra stress on your conrad, your rod, your piston, your sleeve. You know, especially on a bump box, it's more wear and tear on your bump box. And then, once you get it fired up, as anybody knows, to get a basic tune and start tuning, you got to let the motor's got to get up to temp. So if you want to waste gas and wait till the thing gets warmed up by running a tank or two till you get to, 200 or whatever around there, and then start tuning it, then go for it, man. I don't. I warm my motor up so it's already warm. It's already warm. So when I'm firing it up, there's no stress on my piston, no stress on my rod, no stress on my crank. None of that. And it's ready to tune now. I don't have to wait, let it get warmed up, waste a ton of fuel. Okay? It's just, your shit will last longer. So he is right. You don't need it. But it has benefits to using it. And I think those are pretty important benefits to me. My motor, all that shit that I said right now, that's pretty important to me. The longevity, the wear and tear, less stress on everything because it's already nice and warmed up. It's nice and expanded and ready. You're not getting that hard pinch through your piston going up into your cylinder wall because it's stone cold. Heat, when metal gets hot, basic physics, people, it expands. I heat my motors up, even in the summertime. I don't need to heat them as much, but I still do. I use my head warmer. The one that I got is a Fly RC. It's 20-something bucks. I'm about ready to get a new one, and that one's lasted almost 3 years. It's well worth it. I might even get the ProTech one, which is like $30 more. It's like 50-something bucks, but that's like the best one. So, but if you can't afford that, the Fly RC one, $27, that's well worth it, man. To me, to relieve the stress and the wear and tear of my shit, hell yes. So, listen to him, listen to me, whatever you want to do. He has a valid point, so do I. Okay? My valid point is, okay, I agree with the Nitro Nerd. You don't need it. You don't need a head warmer. Okay? But I think he failed to state the fact that it does have its benefits. Is it going to make or break you? Well, maybe not. But to me, in the long run, it will. So this LRP .32, man, that's a ugly ass job, man. Whoever is doing the deburring at LRP factory or whenever they're making these things, they need to fire that dude. And check out the back plate. That's crazy, huh? It's because it has this, the pins must stick out. See how it has to where that's the groove for it. Maybe make sure when you're taking out your back plate, because some of them have where it'll catch here or in here. The Reds doesn't. And I don't think the Nova Rossi does either. It's just all flat. The Reds, they call it a diamond back plate. But for the ones that do, you want to make sure your piston is all the way up, and not all the way up, but up away. Because if it's setting down, basically what it'll be doing is it'll be, because this is the way it goes, it'll be resting on here, and if you go to yank it out and your piston's down, you're gonna bust your piston, and then you're fucked, excuse my language, and your piston's no good now. And you gotta change that shit, and it's not easy. So anyway, tune your motor. Pinch test. Squeeze. Once you get it warmed up, pinch it. Count 1001, 1002, 1003. If it quits before 3 seconds, you're running too lean. So the lean on your low speed needle means that you're running too lean. You're running too much too much clockwise. So you're gonna want to just turn it in small increments, like little quarter turns. Fire it back up. Pinch test again. And the motor will rev really high before it dies, but squeeze it. Count 1001, 1002, 1003, and if it still quits, continue to richen it, which is counterclockwise, if it's too lean, which means it's quitting too. So if it's dying too fast, okay, cuts off too quick, it's too lean. Richen it, which is counterclockwise. Now, if it continues to run, even after you pinch the fuel line, and it keeps going, and you're counting 1004, 1005, 1006, 1000, like 7 or 8, too long, that's way too long. That means you're running too rich, so you're going to want to go the other way. Go lean, little quarter turns. So I usually go, some guys say 5 or 6, I go around 5. That's my mark. When it cuts off 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, that's good enough for me. And usually, you'll know by when you go to fire it up, boom, fires it the first time. When you go to let off the throttle when you're running it, the idle will sit down right away. So obviously, as your motor gets hotter, all that will variate, but don't mess once you got the low end set like that, around 5 seconds, don't mess with it. If anything, you can adjust your idle, because some motors, the idle changes a little bit, and that's no big deal. You know, counterclockwise, you're closing your idle gap. Clockwise, you're opening it. So that's kind of basic. I mean, that's, you know, what works for me. It's a lot of it's by ear, man. Nitro is a lot of sound, feel, you know, a lot of your senses. So, anyway, that's what's going on. Now I got to put these things back together, but I'm not too worried about putting those back together right now. I need to get this thing ready to rock and roll, because I might be going out tomorrow morning, if not Sunday, but I'm definitely running this thing. I need my nitro fix. Like I said, I'm depending on my weekends. I used to, before I started doing more hours, you know, I had time when I got off work to do a little bit of running sometimes. Now I'm man, too busy, and other things too. So when it comes to weekend, and I don't really have any plans this weekend, or the family, maybe moms might be coming to visit tomorrow, but maybe not till later, which means the Muggy Maniac's ass is going to get up early. We're going to go down to the local park, and we're going to get this thing ripping, okay? And I'm going to give you guys some nice, fresh footage of this, and there won't be any talking, okay? Because of lately, like I said, people, you know, are hating out there, so hey, we'll let my shit, my whip, my motors, my setup, we'll let this do the talking. This is my mouthpiece, okay? I don't need to talk. My shit does the talking for me. My vehicles, you know, do the talking. They say pictures are worth 1,000 words. Well, guess what? Videos are worth millions. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I told you this would run about an hour. We're on about an hour, so I don't apologize. I just hope you guys learned something. I'm trying to keep stuff basic. If you guys have more questions, make sure you find out what the fuel is that they're running before you buy that used motor. If it's 30%, you got to keep it at 30. Remember, another fun fact for Fun Fact Friday from the Muggy Maniac: you can't go backwards in fuel. Don't ask me why. I don't know all the scientific terms and analogies and all that mumbo jumbo. All I know is when somebody tells you something like that, there's certain things in nitro you don't need to know why. Just don't do it. Kind of like slam your finger in the car door. You're not going to ask why. Well, because it hurts like hell. Okay, so when I tell you if you're running 25 to 30%, you can't go backwards, which means you can't run 25 from 30. You can't go back to 25 and so on. You can only go forward. Okay? Don't ask me why, just don't do it. If you want to do it and you're curious and like our human nature, you know, unfortunately misguides us and we're just like, like a kid. When your mom told you not to do something, you always did that shit. You guys know he did. I did. Don't touch. I touched it. Stay away from there. I didn't stay away. So if you want to fuck your motor up, don't listen to me. Run 30% and then try to run 20% and then you let me know how that works out. Send me a message or give me some footage of that shit happening. Anyway, that's all I got. Muggy Maniac's got to get to them serious wrenching, man. It's already like 11:30. I'm probably going to be up late. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video. There's all my talking. Plenty for 2 more or 3 more videos probably. So my next video, you're not going to hear me say shit. You're just going to see me do the finger gestures. Thumbs up. Peace out. You know. And you're going to see my shit ripping. Alright? So that's all I got. Again, shout out to all my new Nitro newbies out there. Hang in there. Be patient. Do your homework. I'm going to start grading you guys. You know, I want some teacher's pets. So far, my teacher pet, so to speak, is Just Joe 887. That guy is hounding me with questions like crazy, man. And I'm trying to answer him as best as I can. And he seems like he's, you know, he's really eager to learn, man. And I hope everybody takes it the same way. If you're not serious about it, then don't waste your time and money, man. Go fucking, like I said, excuse my language, go do electric. It's less headaches. You know, but it's, I don't know, if that works for you, high-powered sewing machine, no noise, just bzzz. If that works, then cool. Not for me, man. I'm like, wah, 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 wah. That's what I want to hear. And that's all you're going to hear out of the Muggy Maniacs channel, okay? So peace out, people. Everybody, keep it 100% real. Not only to anybody else, but to yourself. And all you guys that got your shelf queens and your shelf bitches and you're hibernated for the winter, just make sure you check your motors and make sure those pistons are set bottom dead center, man, and put some afterrun in that shit. Don't leave your shit up in the piston unless you want to fuck your motor up, excuse my language, again, okay? If my mom heard this video, she would slap the taste out of my mouth. But anyway, that's all I got. Peace out, people.